A very good morning to all my dear students. Today we are going to take up a chapter from your book Behive My Childhood, a story of APJ Abdul Kalam. Yes, we know him as a missile man of India. We know him as a great scientist of India. And of course, we know him as a president of India. But students, do we actually know about his struggles? Do we actually know the success story of APJ Abdul Kalam? So in this chapter, we are going to read about his childhood days, that how his childhood was. It was a secure childhood, of course, but how he spent his days as a child. So APJ Abdul Kalam was born in a middle class Muslim family in Rameshwaram. He had three brothers and one sister. His father was generous and a wise man. His mother was a hospitable lady. See, though the family was not really too rich, though the family was not really too wealthy, but the family was wealthy in a sense that they had great values, they had great ethics, great morals. So they lived in an ancestral house on Moss Street. His father lived a very simple life, but as I told you, they were highly in values, they have high values, high morals. So the father provided all the necessities to his children, to his family. Now his parents, as I told you, were not much educated and not rich, right? So, but whosoever used to come at the place of APJ Abdul Kalam at their house, the mother, the father, they used to feed him. They used to feed them every day. Now, the Kalam, APJ Abdul Kalam, also inherited those qualities of honesty, self-discipline from his parents only. Kalam was only 8 years old when the Second World War broke out in 1939. Then there was a great demand for the tamarind seeds. Now, Abdul Kalam used to collect those seeds, but he was unaware. He was unable to understand that why all of a sudden there's a high need of tamarind seeds in the market. But as a child, he used to collect those seeds and sell them in the market. His cousin Shamuddin distributed the newspapers in Rameshwaram Island. But it was becoming very difficult for him during the Second World War as the trains were advised or ordered not to take a halt at the Rameshwaram station. So he used to collect, he used to catch the bundles of the newspapers from the window of the running train. So of course he needed a helping hand. So APJ Abdul Kalam came forward as a helping hand of his cousin Shamuddin, and this is how he earned his first wage by distributing the newspapers in the Rameshwaram island. Now his family respected all the religion. His mother and the grandmother used to narrate the bedtime stories to the kids, to the children from the incidents of Ramayana. And Kalam also had three best friends, and few of them were from the Brahmin family Ramananda Shastri, Arvindam, and Shiva Prakashan. They never felt any difference among themselves. They adopted different professions when they grew up. Now, one day, what happened when these kids, APJ Abdul Kalam and his friends, were in fifth standard, a new teacher came to their class, and he was very easily he distinguished APJ Abdul Kalam as a Muslim boy because he was wearing a cap on his head. So he made APJ Abdul Kalam to sit on the last bench because the teacher was unable to digest the fact, he was unable to tolerate that how come a Hindu priest is sitting with a Muslim boy. So both the friends felt very bad and told their parents about the incident after the school. So Ramananda Shastri's father, Lakshmana Shastri, very next day called the teacher and told him not to spread the poison of the communal hatred and social inequality in the minds of the innocent children. So he told the teacher to either apologize or leave the school and the island. The teacher apologized and reformed himself. APJ Abdul Kalam's science teacher invited him to dinner at his home once. His wife refused to serve Kalam's dinner in her kitchen as she believed in religion segregation. Means Iyer was his teacher, science teacher. He invited him, but his wife was not ready to serve Kalam's dinner because he was a Muslim boy and she did not want a Muslim person to enter into her ritually pure kitchen. So she did not allow him to enter into her kitchen and she did not serve the food. But the teacher himself served the food to him and sat just next to him and eat his own food with him. The wife observed from behind the door and did not find any change in Abdul Kalam's behavior. Again, after the dinner, the teacher invited him to join them next weekend once again. But this time, of course, APJ Abdul Kalam was a bit hesitating, but he was made sure by the teacher. So next time when he visited, the wife served the food inside the kitchen with her own hands. So this was a great transformation. The Second World War actually ended, and the Kalam asked his father to permit him to go to Ramananthapuram to study, to have his further higher studies. His father knew that Kalam would have to go away to grow up, so he permitted him. He also told his hesitant wife that they should give their children their love, but not force them their thoughts. Means he made his wife understand that we love them, but we should not force them with our thoughts. We should not put our thoughts to them because they have their own thinking, they have their own dreams. And from this point, his journey begins. So thank you so much, students. I hope that the chapter is clear to all of you. Thank you so much.